That's nice. The potatoes are coming up, the Maris Pipers. Just finished work, still got my backpack on. It's Thursday, 21st of May. Everything's looking quite lush. The carrots are going pretty well. Have a look at the carrots. Look at that. Oh, I'm getting closer. Success so far. That's good. What am I doing? Well, I'm going to have a bash at raking over this soil, getting out some brambles and weeds and things, and try and make a flower bed. So I'll have some flowers for a change. It's not all fruit and veg. I've got some other flowers which are in here. Don't know what they are. Gonna leave those for the time being. Well, let's get on while the sun's shining. Hello, that's me. So, we've dug all that up. I've got some bindweed which throw in the bag. Can't really see it because it's dark. Well, bright and dark at the same time. Out, bang my head on the tree. Dug up stones and things, they're over there. Raked it so it's nice and fine. Now I'm going to sow the seeds. And the seeds I've chosen, I've got Sutton seeds. It's an annual mix of flowers for bees and other pollinators. I'm going to do the old gardener's trick of mixing the seeds in with some sand so I can see exactly where I've thrown the seed, scattered the seed. Unfortunately it's a slightly damp sand, but it'll work just as well. One final job today. I promised I'd plant Jake's radishes out. It's Chinese radishes, so they're going to go in the flower bed, so at least we'll have something green for the next couple of weeks and maybe some vegetables out of it. You see it's still that beautiful evening. Almost don't want to go home, but getting hungry, it's getting a bit chilly. And we've done good work today, you and I. We're all on the weekend, bank holiday weekend. I have more digging to do, no doubt. The sun is out. What a lovely Saturday it is. What to do today? Well, about 2 years ago I bought a collection of twigs, effectively, which were hedging plants from the garden centre. They sold a bundle for about £10. And I potted them up, and now they're no longer twigs, they're full-grown trees. So we've got all sorts in here. Got maples, and I think we've got beech trees down here as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take those to the plot, and I want to use them for hedging, which is their original intention. Well, I've kept them here, I've kept them quite short, so I've picked out the apical buds so they get a bit bushy, and I've had to trim the roots and repot them, a bit like bonsai. So they're now ready to go to their new home. I'm not driving to the plot today, even though I've got lots of trees with me. So I'm just carrying them in my hand or on my back. I have a backpack full of bushes. I had other plans for this space back here, but it seems to become a de facto tree nursery. So these are the trees I've just carried over. Let's get them out in the dappled sunlight. It's a beautiful morning. Now, a couple of months ago I drew a plan for the garden. Rough plan, things change, but one thing I don't want to change is here. I want to put in a mound and put the chillies in there so they'll get the sun. The sun's behind a cloud at the moment. So they'll keep warm, and it'll be something different, something round rather than just rectangular plots that seem to be the norm around here. So to get my circle, I put the fork in the middle of the ground, tied some string, and then actually pegged it out with pegs. These are the pegs from the carrots. I made the shade disc, so I put a circle of pegs all the way around, proper pegging out. Now I'm just going to dig the outline and start the mound. Bit of a sweaty brow. Well, that's the base of it, Doug. Pretty pleased with that. I wanted to get it level. It's the eternal thing here, is trying to get it level with this patch. So I'm going to have to measure it up. I think that's enough for one day. That's quite a lot of digging. Taking out plenty of bindweed like everywhere else. I have a hole, but the hole will be a mound. It's quite exciting. But I've only got tiny chillies to put in, which are over here. There we go. So they better grow up to be big and bushy. I think that's it for one day. Time to go home and grab some food. It's a bit cooler today on Sunday. I've got the chilli bed to work on. And I went to the garden centre and I'm going to fulfill a fantasy of having my own little cornfield. You see, I've got quite a bit of corn which I want to have over here. I've grown corn in the past in pots outside my house, and I've grown them and they've been just taller than me and had a few cobs on, and then the following year nothing, they were terrible. So I'm hoping, you know, if the conditions are right, I can have a cornfield here. That'll be a dream come true. But for now, let's get the chilli mound done. The rain's falling, it's kind of soft at the moment. I hope it's going to stay that way. I've patted down the base of the chilli mound and put a layer of manure in. I'm going to make like a manure sandwich. I'm going to get some soil now, and I've got this from next to the first bed I made. If you watched previous videos, then you'll see that I'm trying to level this site slowly but surely. So I've dug down at the back and then raised this bit up a bit. So now I'm digging a trench next to it. I'm going to take the soil from that and put it onto my manure sandwich. It's not as big as I thought it would be, but I'm quite pleased with that. It's my own little Mount Fuji. It's even got a bit of a caldera on the top. That was hard work, but it's very rewarding. I suppose it's my first garden feature now. It's my first bit of art. Now to dig holes, put in some mycorrhiza, and then plant the chillies up. And it's probably a world first, a Mount Fuji made of chillies, perhaps. I'm not sure what chillies they are. There was a variety pack. I think behind it was twofold. First of all, when I first started planning the garden, I wrote at the bottom, don't be boring, which I think is very important if you're gardening. If you've got straight lines and things, you may as well just become a farmer. So something different, a mound, something a bit architectural, but also it's kind of useful because the sun comes from that direction. So I'm hoping, because we've got layers of manure in here, this is going to keep quite warm. And maybe we'll get some reflected sun, and it's going to be kind of sheltered from the wind. We'll have the wind coming down from up there. We'll see. I mean, it's an experiment. That's a fun experiment, isn't it? That's enough for one day. I'm going to water it in, then head home. Hope you enjoyed this one. I did. And thanks all for your comments. It's very encouraging to read. And let me know what you're doing. If you're doing fun stuff like this, drop a line in the comment. I'll come and have a look at your videos too. See you next time.